Okay, thank you, dear devotees. So, yes, we went live, but we have already offered Mangalacharan prayers. So, we quickly just go with the class sessions. Let me share my screen. So, we are in Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Adi Lila, and we are in chapter number 15 today. So in the previous chapter, we have already seen that how Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he describes about Mahaprabhu's Balya Leela, his childhood pastimes. But he was very, very cautious that he doesn't want to repeat what Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has already described in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. So Chaitanya Bhagavat mostly describes about Mahaprabhu's childhood pastimes and little bit about his Madhya Leela, where he goes around to Vrindavan, to South India Yatra. But Caitanya-caritāmṛta mostly deals in Madhya Leela, which Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has not described, and mostly the Antya Leela. But he doesn't want to just skip over all the childhood pastimes. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami only touches the Balya Leela, the Pauganda Leela, and then he'll quickly go to his Madhya Leela. So this is chapter number 15, verse 1. Again, as Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he composes the verse. So he is saying, मनस्त्वं हि याति यस्यापदाब्जयो सुमनोर्पणमात्रेण तं चैतन्य प्रभुं भजे. So very beautiful verse. He's saying Pumanaha. Pumana means whose mind is means he is Pumana. He is not proper. He is not proper dedicated to the Supreme Lord. So Pumana, basically you can say the person who is in some material enjoyment. Sumanatsamhi, that person who is Pumana, who is materially absorbed, he becomes certainly Sumanatsam. He gains a position of a devotee. And that devotee who is Sumana, who doesn't have any material desires. But how does he get that position? Yati yasya padabjayo sumano arpana matrena tam chaitanya prabhum bhaje. One who worships Yati yasya padabjaja. He quickly gets the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tam Chaitanya Prabhum Bhaje. Tam Chaitanya Prabhu, one who worships the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how he gets this position of Sumanatsvam? Sumano Arpana Matrena. Just by offering Sumana. Suman refers to here. So there are two meanings. Sumana means who offers his mind completely. Arpena Matrena, who offers his mind completely at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Definitely, he takes a position from a materialistic person to a devotee. But another word is Sumana. Suman refers to, if you don't take this hyphen, you just take Sumana. Suman refers to a flower. So just by offering a flower at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one becomes a great devotee. He becomes a Sumanatsvam. Very beautiful words. Sumana Sumanatsvam hi yati yasya padabjayo sumanarpanamatrena. Sumanarpanamatrena. Just simply offering a flower at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tam Chaitanya Prabhu Bhajan. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, because simply by offering a flower at his lotus feet, even the most ardent materialistic person becomes a devotee. Continuing, he offers his obeisances. Paugandalila Chaitanya Krishna Syati Suvitsrata Vidyaramba Mukha Pani Granananta Manohara. So now he is saying that I have already described you about the Balya Lila. Now from here onwards in this chapter, which is a very, very short chapter, we'll try to finish it very quickly today. In this chapter, he talks about his Pauganda Lila. And Pauganda Lila is between ages 5 to 10. So 1 to 5 is the Balya Lila. And then after that, ages 5 plus to 10 is the Pauganda Lila. What are his activities in the Pauganda Lila? So that he's explaining. Pauganda Lila Chaitanya, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Pauganda Lila, and from ages 5 to 10, I'm going to describe that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Krishna Syati, who is non-different from Lord Shri Krishna, who is Krishna himself. And that Pauganda Lila is so Vistrata, means it's very, very expanded, very greatly been described. But by whom? It has been described by Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. So, Pauganda Lila of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is non-different from Krishna, that Pauganda Lila is very vast, so Vistrata. It is very much expanded. And from where it starts from Vidya Aramba, Mukha. It starts primarily, Mukha, primarily from Vidya Aramba, from his education. But then ends where? Pani Graha. Pani Graha means to his marriage. Anta, Pani Grahanta Manohara. And it ends, that Pauganda Lila ends with his marriage, which is very, very Manohara, which is very, very beautiful. So the pastimes of the Lord during his Pauganda age were very extensive. His education was his chief occupation with Dharamba Mukha. And after that, his very beautiful marriage took place. Pani Grahananta Manohara. So then his marriage took place. So let's start first with his Vidya Aramba, how he starts. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, about Lord's education. Gangadasa Pandita Sthane Padena Vyakrana Shravana Matre Kantha Kaila Sutra Vritti Gana. So Lord studied Vyakrana, Sanskrit grammar, under whom? Under Gangadas Pandit. So Gangadas Pandit is the teacher of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who taught him Vyakrana. But when Mahaprabhu was learning Vyakran, Shravana Matrena, just by hearing, he was able to remember Kantha Kaila. He was able to remember Sutra Vritigana, all the sutras of Sanskrit grammar. He was able to remember just by hearing. We saw in Krishna Lila also that Krishna and Balram, when they went to Sandipamani ashrams just to gain knowledge, within 64 days, they both got 64 arts learned. So how capable they were. Of course, they are the Supreme Lord. So here also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to study Sanskrit grammar under Sri Gangadas Pandit, just by hearing, he would immediately remember all the grammatical rules and all the definitions. So when the Lord was studying grammar at the place of Gangadas Pandit, he would immediately learn grammatical rules and definitions by heart, simply by hearing them once. So then Srila Prabhupada actually gives a little bit description that Gangadas Pandit was not his first teacher, because under Gangadas Pandit, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu learned only Sanskrit grammar. But before that, there was another teacher. His name was Vishnu, and another was Sudarshan. So this was their primary class teachers. And they start learning about writing the alphabets. But under the guidance of Sri Gangadas Pandit, we learned these grammatical rules. And Prabhupada said that learning Sanskrit grammar is very important because Sanskrit is the mother of all the languages. And if somebody is very pakka in Sanskrit grammar, then they can easily capture the essence of all the scriptures. So therefore, it is very important to study Sanskrit grammar. And Sanskrit grammar is considered to be the gateway of education, and it takes normally 12 years for one to master. Hare Krishna. Okay. It takes 12 years for someone to master in this field in Sanskrit language. So he was the first one. So Mahaprabhu very quickly, then he started Sanskrit and he was able to win over the victory on all other students because he started commenting. He wrote the great commentary also on Panji Tika, and he just win over everybody. Now, Srila Vrindavan, Srila Chaitanya, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami actually stops here. In just one verse, he describes about Mahaprabhu's learning of Sanskrit grammar by Sri Gangadas Pandit. This has been very, very extensively described by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. So again, taking the mood of a Pakka Vaishnava, perfect Vaishnava, as a matter of etiquette, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said that I'm not going to repeat this, and I want everyone that if they want to know about this Lila, they have to go and study Chaitanya Bhagavat. So then he started off he touched upon another very beautiful pastime that happened in Pauganda Lila, where Lord begged charity from his mother. Ekadina matara pade kariya pranam, Prabhu kahe mata mora dekha ekdan. So one day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he fell down. Ekadina matara pade kariya pranam. He fell down at the feet of his mother. He paid his obeisances. Prabhu kahe, and then he said, Mata mura deha ek dan. O Lord, O mother, please give me one thing in charity. Mata bole tai diba ya tumi magibe. Prabhu kahe ekadishe anna na khaibe. His mother replied, my dear son, yes, I will give you whatever you ask for. Tai diba yatumi magiba. Whatever you ask for, I'll give you that charity. Then Lord asked, Ekadishite annana khaibe. I only want, oh dear mother, please do not eat grains on the day of Ekadashi. So this was the charity that our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked from his mother. So actually, Srila Jiva Goswami, he comments in, there is a quotation in the Skanda Puran, and Srila Jiva Goswami also comments that on that statement in his Bhakti Sandarbha, that anyone who eats grain on the day of Ekadashi becomes a murderer of a mother, his father, his spiritual master, and his brother. And even if that person somehow is elevated to higher planets, to Vaikuntha planets, there is every possibility for him to fall down. So the point is, why such things are mentioned in the Skanda Puran is that we mistakenly also, we should not eat grain on the day of Ekadashi. Now, that doesn't mean that we make our Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, starve on the day of Ekadashi. We can cook everything for Krishna. including grains, dal, whatever we want, we can cook. But that is only and only for the pleasure of the Lord Sri Krishna. After that, we can take that Mahaprasadam and we can store it. And next day, on the day of Dwadashi, we can honor it. It has been mentioned that one should, even on the day of Ekadashi, if somebody has given someone some Vishnu Prasadam, we should very nicely take it, honor it mentally. How? By paying obeisances to that Prasadam, because Prasadam is not different from Krishna. So we just honor it. We just honor in the sense, not take it in our mouth, but we just pay our obeisances, and then we keep it for the next day, on the day of Dwadashi, to honor. So it is strictly forbidden for someone, especially the Vaishnavas, to accept any kind of grain on the day of Ekadashi. See, in Jagannath Puri, there is no Ekadashi. So even in Puri Dham, if you are on the day of Ekadashi and if somebody gives you grain, because Jagannath means prasadam. So if somebody gives you grain prasadam, we can mentally honor that prasad, we can pay its our obeisances, but then we should keep it for the next day to honor on the day of Dwadashi. We should never accept any grain, even if it is Mahaprasadam, we should not accept on the day of Ekadashi. That is being mentioned. Yes, Praladananda Prabhu, you want to add something?
Yes, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. There is always some kind of confusion regarding the day and date of, Ekadasi that prevails so many. So I just want you to clarify and give us the definite answer that this is the Ekadasi Vaishnavas follow. So what criteria should we follow? Please elaborate little on that. And thank you for allowing me to speak.
No, perfect. So what happened for the Ekadashi? There are two ways. One is, which is not really, accepted, or they don't follow, the Vaishnavas don't follow. Some Vaishnavas do, but it's very difficult. What is that? Is you take a track when the Ekadashi Tithi is starting, means the time. And from that very time till the Dwadashi Tithi starts, we fast on that, during that time. But it's very difficult to keep a track of this time and then when it is ending. And what if Dwadashi is ending in the midnight? Sorry, Ekadashi is ending in the midnight and the midnight Dwadashi is starting. So there is a lot of problems. So normally we don't follow that rule. Now another is, we follow as per Gaudiya Vaishnavas and other Vaishnavas also. What is the correct rule of keeping Ekadashi is that Ekadashi is considered when that moment of Ekadashi is there, when Ekadashi Tithi is there and the sunrise is there. For example, today is 4th of August or 3rd of August for US devotees. So now suppose the Ekadashi has started on 3rd afternoon. Okay. Maybe around 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock, you can say. 11 o'clock on one particular day, suppose 3rd August, Ekadashi has started. Now, Ekadashi has started at 11 o'clock, but that day will not be considered good for keeping fast. Now, this Ekadashi goes on and ending next day, maybe 9 o'clock. So when the Ekadashi is ending, it's 9 o'clock next day, but at that time, when the sun rises, at that time we have to see what is the tithi. So next day on 4th August, when the sun rises, at that time tithi is Ekadashi. So we will keep 4th August as a day of fasting. We will not take 3rd August. So even if it is a slight change, means they are very particular that suppose sun rises at 6:30 and Ekadashi is starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. still that day is not suitable to keep Ekadashi. Because at that time when sun rose, at that time the Tithi was Dashmi, was not Ekadashi, was not the 11th day, but it was 10th day. And next day, if the Tithi is ending around 6:45, but sun rises at 6:30, so at that time the Tithi is Ekadashi. So that day, even though at 7 o'clock Dwadashi starts, but still because during the sunrise time, it was Ekadashi time. So that day, next day will be kept as Ekadashi. But because it is merging with Dwadashi, therefore next day is known as Mahadwadashi. It's not the regular Dwadashi, it becomes Mahadwadashi, where Ekadashi and Dwadashi are getting mixed up. But during the sunrise, the Tithi was Ekadashi. So that day is considered to be more auspicious to keep fast rather than the previous day. So this is how the calculation is made. And sometimes we see that, like recently, I think so, before this Shayana Ekadashi, the Ekadashi before this, it happened that within in India also, India follows only one time zone. But within India also, there was a discrepancy that the north and the west side of India were keeping Ekadashi on one day, and the south and the east side of India was keeping Ekadashi on the next day. So we have to see the sunrise, what time the sun is rising, and during that sunrise, what is the Tithi? We have to take that into consideration, and accordingly we keep fast. So this is how this Ekadashi system works. Hope that is clear. So yes, so now after this charity that our Supreme Lord asked, Mother Sachi was very, very pleased. And she gave a promise to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that from today onwards, I will not eat grains on Ekadashi. And she started keeping fast on Ekadashi. Now, then slowly and gradually, two children were there, right? Who were there? Vishwarup and our Mahaprabhu. Vishwarup was the elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he started growing up, and then Jagannath Mishra and Mother Sachi thought of getting married. Now, as soon as this news reaches to the ears of Vishwarup, he thought that no, I'm not here to accept any householder life. So he immediately left the home and he accepted sannyas. And he started traveling from one pilgrimage to another. When Shachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra came to know about that how Shri Vishwarup has left home and has accepted sannyas order, they were very unhappy. But Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu consoled. How he consoled his parents? He said, see, it is very good that Vishwarup, means our elder brother, my elder brother, has accepted sannyas. Because now, if he accepts sannyas and he becomes a pure devotee, then he will deliver both of you. He will deliver you also, and he will means both of you, means mother and father. He will deliver both of you, and also he will deliver the entire family. So don't lament on this. I am there, right? I'll be there. I will serve you, and I will make sure that I accept all your instructions, and I will be with you. Don't worry. And let Vishwarup, brother, let him take sannyas if he has accepted that order of life. So this way, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he consoled his parents that it's okay, I'm there for you. Now, just I remembered this, my Guru Maharaj, he wrote in his book, Ocean of Mercy, that how even when he wanted to accept ISKCON and he wanted to join as a full-time brahmachari in ISKCON, and he joined also. So it was His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj who went the home of my Guru Maharaj and told his father that it's okay, let him become a brahmachari. And finally, Guru Maharaj also, within, few months only, he was so attracted that he immediately accepted this brahmachari ashram. He shaved off his head and he accepted the saffron clothes. But then a few months later, again, pressure was there from his father that, this is not the right, because Maharaj was there in Germany also. He was a well-studied person, and the father of my Guru Maharaj, he wanted that he should earn livelihood for the family instead of becoming a brahmachari. So at that time, Guru Maharaj also told this, that let me take sannyas, let me accept this brahmachari life and sannyas, and I will take care of your future life, and let my brother earn livelihood and he can take care of your material needs. So even Guru Maharaj said that, if I become a pure devotee, then I'll take care of your future life. Means your spiritual life is covered. Why? Because if somebody becomes a devotee in a family, then the entire family is delivered. So same thing our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to his parents, that don't worry, if Vishwarup has taken sannyas, that's okay. He will be there. He will deliver both of you and the entire family. And I will be always there to serve you, because I will not accept sannyas, I would serve you. And thus he made both of them satisfied. So this was another instance that happened during Mahaprabhu's Pauganda Lila. Another pastime happened, which is betel nut pastime. Eka din naivedya tambula khaiya, bhumite padila prabhu achete nahaiya. So one day, our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he did, he ate betel nuts, which were offered to the Supreme Lord, but they acted as an intoxicant. That's why betel nut is prohibited in our movement, in our sampradaya, where we are not supposed to consume this betel nut because it works as an intoxicant. So it comes under regulative principles. When we take this vow of not eating, of not intoxicating, neither tea, coffee, then also this betel nuts is there, which is self-implied, that when that intoxicant, we will not even accept betel nuts. So he says, Ekatena Naivedya Tambula Khaya, but he is the Supreme Lord, he is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is not different from Krishna. So he took that betel nut, which was offered to Krishna, and he immediately, Bhumite Padite Prabhu Achetanaha, and immediately he felt unconscious. He fell on the ground and he fell unconscious. Now, why actually this pastime happened? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime, actually fainting, he showed that how betel nut can act as an intoxicant, and therefore the Vaishnavas don't even touch betel nuts. Even though it is offered to Vishnu, but one should not touch this betel nut, one should not accept. See, Krishna can eat anything, whatever he likes, but we cannot imitate his eating, right? So therefore, Mahaprabhu, when he ate betel nuts and fell unconscious on the ground, he showed that one should not even accept betel nuts. So when Mahaprabhu fell unconscious on the ground, at that time, Shri Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi came, they sprinkled water in his mouth, and finally the Lord came back to his external consciousness. And what he said was very wonderful. He said that the Lord said, the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vanimai, he said that when I felt unconscious, actually I was not unconscious. It was Vishwarup brother, means Bhaiya Vishwarup, who came and took me away from here. And he requested me also to accept sannyas. So now our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is building a foundation, because he knows that very soon he will also accept sannyas. And previously he assured his parents that I'll be there to take care of you. But he wants to build up this foundation also, that in future I will also take sannyas. But he said that Vishwarup came and he told me to accept sannyas. But I said, see, I'm not going to accept sannyas. I'm such a small child. How can I take sannyas? And moreover, I have my mother and father, and they are now helpless because you have left, you have accepted sannyas. There is no one to take care of them. So I am going to take care of my parents, and also I will enter into household life. I will enter into grahastha ashram. And my parents, after knowing this, will be very, very happy that I have entered into Grahasthashram. So then Vishwarup Prabhu, Vishwarup Bhaiya, he said, my brother, he said, okay. And then, oh Mother Shachi, he offered many, many thousands and thousands of obeisances to you, and he left. So in this way, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he performed a lot of pastimes which everybody cannot understand. Then Prabhupada actually writes, Vaishnavara Kriya Mudra Vijnana Bhujaya, that it is very, very difficult for even an intelligent, scholarly person to understand the activities of a Vaishnava. Why a Vaishnava does a particular kind of thing, it's very difficult for someone to understand. But here, why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed this pastimes, the only thing that can come is to lay the foundation in the mind of his parents that very soon he will also take sannyas. But he assured them that don't worry, I will accept Grahastha ashram. So the parents were very happy. But still Srila Jagannath Mishra was feeling so much separation from Vishwarup, and therefore very soon he left this world. He left this body. And naturally, both Shachimata and Nimai Pandit, they were very aggrieved in their hearts. Everybody came to pacify Shachimata and Nimai, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was very small at that time, but still he performed all the rituals that are needed, the last rites of his father, because Vishwarup was nowhere. He has already accepted the sannyas ashram. So our Mahaprabhu, he performed all the rituals, the final rites for his father. Then after some days, our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, see, anyways, I have given these words to my parents that I will not accept sannyas and I will accept a householder life. So what is the use of a householder life if I don't do my duty properly? And as a duty of being in a householder is to accept a wife. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought that without wife, there is no meaning to enter into householder life. Na graham graham iti ahur grihini graham uchyate taya hi sahita sarvan purushartham samushnate. So he says, Na graham graham iti ahur, that house is not a house, is said to be not a house. Grihini graham uchyate. If there is no grihini, if there is no wife, then that house is not considered to be a house. Why? Because both of them, Tayahi Sahita Sarvam, because both husband and wife, they together, they run this household life, this Grahastha ashram, and what they do, Purushartham Samushnate. They try to perfect in all the four Purusharthas. What are the four Purusharthas? The Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So they try to fulfill all the four Purusharthas together. They try to perfect. So our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought that, see, I have to enter into Grahasthashram, and there is no use of entering Grahasthashram if I do not accept as somebody as my wife. So one day when Mahaprabhu was coming back from school, he saw the daughter of Vallabhacharya. She was going to Ganga. So in the previous session also we saw that how Mahaprabhu as an Nimai, he used to tease all the girls in Ganga. And he used to tease all of them. It's okay. He used to tease everybody that, why you are worshipping Lord Shiva. You don't have to worship Lord Shiva. You can worship me only. And he would snatch all their offerings that they brought for to worship Lord Shiva. So, and at that time, Lakshmi Devi also one day came, and Mahaprabhu and Lakshmi Devi, they both saw each other because they are eternal, she is an eternal consort of Mahaprabhu. So she came, and then very nicely Mahaprabhu said that, see, you have to offer this garland to me. And Lakshmi Devi also very nicely offered that garland to Nimai. So, when she came, her name is Lakshmi. She is goddess of fortune, but she came as the daughter of Vallabhacharya. So when Mahaprabhu saw and that Lakshmi Devi is there and she was going to River Ganga to worship, at that time when they both met, it has been explained that their eternal relationship got awakened. And finally, with the will of the Supreme Lord, with the will of Nimai only, there was one middleman whose name was Vanamali, who came as a marriage maker to the house of Mother Shachi. So here our Nimai saw Lakshmi Devi going to the river Ganga to worship, and both of them, they saw each other, and their love means it got awakened as soon as they saw. And on the other hand, our Vanmali Ghattaka, his name was Vanmali Ghattaka, he went straight to Mother Sachi to arrange marriage of Supreme Lord and Lakshmi Devi. So this Vanamali Ghattaka was previously Vishwamitra, who negotiated the marriage of Lord Ramachandra and Mother Sita. And later, that same personality became a Brahmana who took that love letter of Rukmani to Krishna, and he negotiated the marriage of Lord Shri Krishna and Rukmani Devi. That same Brahmana, that same Vishwamitra, came as Vanamali Ghattaka in Chaitanya Lila, and he went to Mother Sachi to negotiate the marriage between Lord and Lakshmi Devi. Then Mother Sachi was very much pleased because anyways, Jagannath Mishra has already left the planet. So she was all by herself. But she was very pleased that my son will enter into Grahasthashram now. And she immediately said yes to Vanmali Ghattaka. And finally, the marriage was arranged and the Lord got married to Lakshmi Devi. So this was the first marriage of Mahaprabhu. That is also very beautifully described by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we saw that how in the start only, our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has mentioned that his Pauganda Lila will be from Vidya Arambha to Panigraha. So Vidya Arambha, he started with taking instructions, learning Sanskrit from Gangadas Pandit, and Panigraha means his first marriage to Lakshmi Devi. That happened because of Vanamali, who became as a marriage broker, who came as a middleman. So with this, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that I don't want to now again describe how it happened, because it was a big, with pomp and show, this marriage happened. But he said, I don't want to step onto that, because that has already been elaborately described by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. So there, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami stopped this chapter and he says, Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Ash, Caitanya-caritāmṛta kahe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. So with this, he ends this chapter, and now we will see the next chapter, but today we will not start because we started late. So then we will see his childhood and his youth pastimes in next chapter, chapter number 16. So we'll stop here. I was seeing some chat messages. Okay, there's something. Okay. Radharanda Prabhu is quoting this source. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Yes, Prahladanand, you want to add something?
Yes, Mataji. Again, regarding Ekadasi, is there any website which you refer to confirm that
Yes,
this is the right
Gaudiya
Ekadasi?
calendar. See, Gaudiya calendar.
Gaudiya calendar. Okay.
It comes in iOS. I don't know whether it's there in Android also. I don't
Okay.
think, but for iOS, yes, it supports. Just look for Gaudiya calendar and put your, the state, the country you are in, and then according to your state, they will tell you that this day is suitable for fasting and this day is not suitable for fasting, and it gives all the other festivals also.
Okay. Okay. That's very good information. Yes. Another
And
thing,
thank you
Mata.
for your intoxicant you are putting. Such nice thing. It stimulates the central nervous system. But Prabhuji, this betel nut means only that supari, right?
Yeah, that's what we understand, right? Supari is the common thing which we use as mukwas,
Yeah. So that the kvass should not be taken, which has supari, right?
Right. We don't take that. So many are available commercially, like, small pieces like that and colored with dyes and sweeteners and all that, but we don't touch those ones.
We don't
But
touch those.
another thing, Mataji, I was always wondering is that this confusion regarding the Ekadasi is this. For example, today, as you give the example, if today is the Ekadasi, which is starting, let's say, after 12 or whatever time, and there was no sunrise that time, is it any wrong if I avoid grains? Is there anything wrong?
No, there is never wrong. Even if you take grains also, it's okay. Avoiding is always good.
Yes, because of my
avoiding is
own.
always good that you are not taking. But even if you take grains, then also it's okay, because for Vaishnavas, the Ekadashi starts on sunrise.
That's where the principle is there, and because of my own situation as a diabetic and at the age of 72, I usually avoid all kind of grains, like chapati, rice, all these things I don't usually take. I take a lot of fibers, a lot of cooked vegetables, fruits, like that. Those things I take. So as a principle, I usually avoid grains, which does not add to my weight and my diabetes and all that like that. So this is good that, there's nothing wrong if you do not take any grains on the so-called Ekadasis.
Of course not, never. But make sure on the day of Dwadashi you take grain, otherwise the fast won't break.
Right.
We
So on
have to do
Dwadashi usually,
quarantine, we have to take. If you cannot take much rice, just take a small piece of rice, which you get in Jagannath Puri, that Nirmalya. You can take that and you can just break your fast.
That usually I do, because we do offer rice to Lord Sri Krishna deity here.
Yeah,
and
so little bit.
then I take a little bit of that rice, like
a little bit, because then it's not break the fast, but it's actually that completes your fast. If next day you take Dwadashi.
But one question always, why grains that should be avoided? Is there any kind of reason in the Sahitya, in the
there is again story, right? That how Papa Purusha was there, and then he wants that there should be somewhere where I can take shelter. And at that time, Krishna told that in grains you can go in all the places where all these non-regulative principles happen, like meat eating, intoxication. But he said, nothing happens in your yuga when Krishna, you are personally there. So I still want something. And then he said, okay, you go and take shelter in grains. Why grains, Prabhu? Because grains are the one that carry the consciousness. Therefore, it is said that if you have to go to a materialistic person's house and you are forced and you are bound to eat something, normally Vaishnavas don't accept anything apart from Krishna Prasadam. But if certain cases, like in offices also, the normal question comes that we have some office meetings, we have to present ourselves in front of colleagues, we cannot say no to everything. At that time, it is recommended that take some, like you said, vegetables, some fruits, because they carry less consciousness. Grains are the one which carry the highest consciousness. So, jaisa an vaisa man. So we
Man,
should
yes,
not
right.
take grains from anybody and from everybody. We should be very particular. If we are really focusing on our spiritual growth, then grains are the thing that should be avoided.
Avoided. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you for giving all this about betel nut. Nadaji, what about pan? There is something about meetha pan without insects. I think we should avoid all pan. Yes, Sunil Prabhu, pan, I don't know. Pan is not something like, because pan comes under Aishwarya. Again, as an opulence. Like eating pan doesn't, uh, if you avoid eating pan, it doesn't bereft you of anything. So it is mostly a luxury thing, right? But this pan is very, very favorite to Radharani, Srimati Radharani. Even in Barsana, if you go, they offer this bida. They call it bida. This pan to Srimati Radharani. And as a prasadam, you can still take. That pan is, very fortunate people get the remnants of that pan. So if you get it, you can take it. Normally at my home also, on the day of Radhashtami, I do offer this pan, meetha pan, as you said, without betel nut, this pan to Srimati Radharani. And then as a remnant on that word, not that day as such, but next day, I try to, take that remnant. So the span is still okay, but not as a daily thing. But yeah, if you offer it to Vishnu, then it's okay to take it. That's my understanding. But not as a daily, because it comes under sense gratification. So we should avoid it.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, dear devotees, then see you all next Monday, Tuesday. And then we'll do the next chapter. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavim ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Shri Chaitanya ki jai. Thank you.
Thanks, Mataji ki jai.